What's up, everyone? What you're looking at here are some of the most beautiful places in a spot called Hocking Hills State Park. It's a very large park that's about an hour south of Columbus, Ohio, and it's a place that's visited by people all over the country as well as the world for its beautiful, spectacular waterfalls, caves, caverns, and so forth. And in this video, I'm going to give you basically a first-time visitor guide to this spot so you make the most out of your trip if it's your first time coming here. I've personally been to this area 3 times now, and every single time I pass through, I make sure to stop to revisit some of the spots that I'll talk about in this video, or perhaps see new ones, because there is a lot to see and do in Hocking Hills. So to get started with, this park is probably the most popular one in the state, and it's one that is very much seen on social media. It's a place that's visited by a lot of people throughout the year, and if you're planning to visit, I would say that if you're okay with crowds, then spring and summer are probably the best times to go. Although I would recommend you go in early March, because you will notice that the water in Hocking Hills is actually much more cloudy blue, and that, in my opinion, makes it more beautiful. Now, the thing about Hocking Hills is that when it comes to the best spots to see, what you need to understand is that this area, Hocking Hills, is really spread into a couple of different points which you can actually visit across one or more trails, or what you can do is you can park in one area, visit one of the spots, which is through a beautiful hike. There's Ash Cave, there's Cantwell Cliffs, there's Old Man's Cave, and a bunch of others that I'll talk about in a moment. Get back in your car, go to the next trailhead, stop off, check them out. Usually the hikes in Hocking Hills are pretty short, about under a mile or two, and so they're very family friendly for the most part, so you can just do what I just said, find the trailhead to one of the areas, park your car there, check out the spot, the waterfalls, or the main attraction of that hike, get back in the car, go to the next place, and you can do this a couple of times and fit in about 3-4 hikes quite easily in the day. Now, in terms of the main, most popular hikes in the park, the first must-see place that I recommend that you visit if it's your first time is Old Man's Cave. Now, the thing about Old Man's Cave, it's kind of like the HQ hike in Hocking Hills. What you'll do is you'll be able to visit Hocking Hills in the main area there. There's a very large parking lot. There's a visitor center. There's bathrooms in that area, as well as picnic tables. And Old Man's Cave is just a short 1.5 mile hike that starts off in this area, which you see it's called Upper Falls. Then it makes you go through this beautiful cavern area, or rather this canyon area, which then leads to a gigantic cave, which is known as Old Man's Cave. Now, most people elect to kind of circle back around that hike and get back to the parking lot, but if you continue to follow that, you're gonna go through a much more quieter area of the trail, which will lead you to these beautiful cliffs that you see here, as well as a gigantic cave known as Whispering Cave. That area actually has way less crowds because people aren't willing to go as far to those particular areas, but that makes them more worth it to see. So I recommend that if nothing else, and you decide to go on a day trip to Hocking Hills, that you make Old Man's Cave Trail your main priority to check out. Now, if you have more time or you want to see more places, the next area that I recommend that you check out is Ash Cave. In my personal opinion, Ash Cave is the most beautiful place in the entire park to explore, because it's one of the easiest hikes to reach. There's basically a 1/4 mile hike, or if you can even call it that, a flat trail basically, that goes from the parking area to the cave, and it is even bigger than Whispering Cave. It's considered, I believe, to be the biggest cave east of the Mississippi in the States. And it also features a waterfall that flows throughout most of the year. In the summer, you might see it more dried up, but it is a gigantic cave and a waterfall, and one of the most photogenic spots that you will find in the entire park, and I would argue the United States altogether. Now, if you have more time, you can see other places outside of that. My personal recommendations are that you check out Cantwell Cliffs, which is a bit more of an intermediate hike for most people. You basically go through what is essentially a slot canyon and check out another huge cave. There's also Rock House Garden, which is a very awesome hike that takes you, it's only about a 1/4 mile, if not less, and it basically takes you through this huge cave area. There's even pigeons there, but it's a place where many people frequent in Hocking Hills when they come to visit. That is one of the must-see places. Now, just as well, there are also other beautiful spots such as Twin Falls and Chapel Cave, which are part of one trail. And I recommend what you do when you visit Hocking Hills is that you mark these on your GPS, because the reception in Hocking Hills is very poor in most areas. So if you have these maps preset in your Google Maps, for instance, you'll be able to find them without having any issues. It's pretty easy to travel from one location to another when it comes to Hocking Hills. Generally speaking, the hikes that I just mentioned, as well as others, are about maybe 10 to 15 minutes of a drive between each. So as I was saying before, when you finish one of the hikes in Hocking Hills, and I recommend you start with Old Man's Cave Trail, you can get in your car, go to the next place, perhaps Ash Cave. That's about a 15-minute drive from Old Man's Cave. Check that place out, get back in your car, maybe go check out Cantwell Cliffs. That's another 15 minutes away, and just keep doing that until you get tired, or perhaps you've had more than enough beautiful views to finish up the day before you have to go somewhere else. So that's really the main thing. There are a whole bunch of other hikes in Hocking Hills, but the main ones that I just listed are the most popular ones. Without a doubt, you should always start your hike, if it's your first time, in my opinion, with Old Man's Cave. Follow that up with Ash Cave, Cantwell Cliffs, and Rock House Garden if you have time. And be sure to download the map of Hocking Hills, which I will leave a link to below this video, to help you navigate it. The good news is, if you want to check out most of the places and perhaps you're a bit more of an intermediate and above level hiker, what you can do is you can actually start off on the Old Man's Cave Trail, which is the blue trail, and follow that all the way to its end, which is actually going to take you through a whole bunch of beautiful spots in Hocking Hills, as well as Ash Cave, and then work your way back to the parking lot. That's going to make it about a 10 to 13 mile hike in and out, or rather a loop trip. So that sums it up. There are other beautiful places to see, but I will leave a link below this video to some other beautiful places that you can check out in Hocking Hills. It's doubtful that you can check them all out in one day. You probably need more, at least 2 days to check out the main attractions there, but I did give you at least a list of the main priorities hikes to check out. And on top of that, I will also recommend that you check out the camping areas, which there are plenty of in Hocking Hills. A lot of people love to do that, but if you're not so much into camping, consider checking out the towns about 45 minutes away, with Columbus being the main place to stay out outside of the park. So thanks for watching this video, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, like, share, and subscribe.